how I used trading to buy my new house. Well, congratulations. How about that?
Cool.
So, in 2019, I stumbled into a world of investing, not realizing how deeply it would shape my life in just a few short years. It started with a spark, a chaotic frenzy fueled by the excitement of meme stocks and a wild, uncharted waters of retail investing. I can't say
Nice.
all of us have been there, but some of us have been there.
I've been there.
You've been there. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Okay. Like so many others, I bought into the hype, grabbing shares at $30 and riding the wave up to $330 in just 2 weeks. The rush was indescribable, a heavy mix of adrenaline, luck, and naivete. But that initial thrill was only the beginning. Oh boy, this is really the crossroads of destiny, right? This can either go to a gambling addiction or a healthy obsession with finance. Let's see which.
But we can see, right, how like it's just all those emotions. Like you're having a biological experience, and like your biology was freaking out because you just watched your life energy multiply for what seems like nothing, right? Your life energy, your money just multiplied. You just equivalent exchange was just broken. Like you're like, I just did it. I did nothing.
Yeah.
Other people paid for that mistake. Other people paid for you to be able to go up there. So you took life energy from somebody else. That's what the stock market is. It's a trading vehicle to give somebody's life energy for somebody else's. But you can see how you're having a biological experience. And if you get addicted to that, now we're addicted to the rush. And now someone's out gambling or doing whatever, which is what it is.
After the frenzy subsided, I realized I wanted more than just quick gains. It's a good thought. I wanted to understand the market, to dig into the why behind the price movements and feel confident in the decisions I made. I devoured books, pored over financial statements, and immersed myself in the teaching of legacy investors. Slowly but surely, I evolved from a rookie chasing hype to a long-term value investor, someone who cared about the fundamentals, about the business, and about the story behind the numbers. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's about as good as it could have gone, right? So
Yep.
far.
Yep. It could have gone the very different ways. Sometimes the worst thing you can do when you start out is win.
Yeah. 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 Sometimes the best thing when you're starting out is learning how to lose. So, continuing on. It's been a transformative journey. I've spent hours researching companies, poring over. Did I read this part already? I have not. Okay, cool. Just a little bit of a similar sentence to the last one. I've spent hours researching companies, poring over earnings reports, and keeping up with financial news. It's been a part of who I am, something I genuinely wake up excited to do every day. Nice. Over the years, I've built a portfolio I'm proud of, a collection of investments that reflected not just my knowledge, but my growth as an investor. Each position had a story, a reflection of the time and the effort I poured into understanding this world. It wasn't just numbers on a screen for me. It was the culmination of years of learning, curiosity, and passion. And now I have to let it go. Oof, oof, oof. Excuse me. I'm selling most of my portfolio to buy a house in Austin. A decision that's both practical and bittersweet. On one hand, I feel incredibly blessed to be in a position to do this, to secure a home and take a significant step forward in my life. I'm excited for the new chapter it will bring, but on the other hand, I'm parting ways with these investments, and it feels like saying goodbye to an old friend. It's a painful way I hadn't anticipated. Selling isn't just about clicking a button. It's a mental, emotional hurdle. These shares represent years of work, of patience, of growth. And now, instead of being reinvested into companies I believe in, they'll be tied up in real estate, an asset I can't help but feel is less, that I'm in less of control of. Understandable, totally understandable. The idea of sinking all of that effort and capital into the Austin housing market feels quite daunting. What if the market crashes? What if it's the wrong move? To be clear, I'm not ungrateful. I know how fortunate I am to have this opportunity, but the truth is, selling is boring compared to the action of the last few years. There's that gambler in him. There's that
There it
gambler.
is.
There
There
it
it
is.
is.
There it is. It's clinical and final in a way that doesn't compare to the excitement of building something new over time. The emotional attachment I have to these investments and this chapter of my life makes it hard to let it go. How am I supposed to feel good about this? How am I supposed to feel good about all of this? Interesting. From traded stocks for a house, it's a bittersweet trade, but memories of growth will never fade. The itch of the gambler continues. Ugh. So,
What I think about before you go is that in our brains we assign meaning to everything. We put money into buckets. And in this money, he's moved his investing money into this bucket of investing into fun, into like making money with it. And now he's going to pour that bucket out to purchase something different. But he's still trying to put this house into his investing bucket, into the like, I use this to make money. I might be a little bit biased here when I say this, but when you buy a primary home, you are not buying an asset. You are buying a liability. Assets, by definition, put money into your pocket. Liabilities take money from you. When you own a house that you live in and you're not house hacking it, that's why it gets confusing, because a primary home can be an asset if you're making money off it. But most people do not do that. But they call it an asset because on average, it appreciates 2 to 3% per year. But that's just the rate of inflation. Now, yes, there have been times like during COVID, there have been times, but what I think we need to do is we need to remember that for our listener here, our writer, is that you're taking money from one aspect of your life and you're moving it to another aspect of your life. So stop looking at that money as if it's your gambling money, as if it's your money to make money with. This is now time to use it for making your life better,
mhm.
which is the goal of the money, is to live a better life. Now, I don't know why you're moving into a house. Maybe you have a wife and kids. Maybe there's something else going on. You always have the choice to not do that, though. If you would prefer to live wherever you're living, have all this stuff, you can do that. But it sounds like there's probably a reason behind the move that you didn't put into the letter. I don't know enough about it to pontificate onto it, but you're doing this for a reason outside of just making money, outside of the gambling, outside of the feeling. I have more, but Dominic, what do you think?
I think it's a very interesting take. There's something so dangerous about the feeling of adrenaline, especially when it comes to money, right? It can go away so fast, it can come so fast, and it's so dangerous. And you feel smarter than you are. And it sounds like he's really honed himself and he's done a lot of research, a lot of learning, a lot of growing up as an investor. And that's super important. I mean, that's to be applauded for sure. But, addictions really never go away, in my opinion. They just get minimized and replaced with other things. And sometimes they can come back in strange ways. And I wonder if we're getting to the root cause of what, like, what's the root cause of all this, right? Because, I mean, let's be honest, like, everybody wants that dream house. I've been picturing it all week. Like, oh man, I want a studio so I can record these pods with Chris and it's going to be great, right? And all these different things. But that's the end game. And for him, that was never the end game. So I wonder what his end game really was. Because initially it was just chasing fast cash. Fast cash. Good Lord. If I don't show up next week because I had a stroke. That being said, I wonder what his end game was. Was it making money just for the purpose of making money? Or was there a number in mind? Because usually everybody has a number. But what does that number mean to him? So that's kind of my initial take on all of that. I mean, what do you think? You have a background in psychology, Chris. I mean, what do you think's going on here?
I think we've all been told a lie about money, and that money is just numbers. Money is it's all just numbers based, right? And if that was the case, then money would be really easy. It's just, oh well, make more, spend less, easy. And that isn't what it is. When I hear this from our listener, it makes me, it's kind of the personification that this isn't just about the money. This isn't just about numbers. Money is emotions. Money is your identity. And what I'm hearing from this listener is that this is all about his identity. So I'm going to talk to the listener. This isn't about your money. This is about your identity and about letting go of a part of yourself that has become deeply ingrained in your day to day life. I think as you look ahead, you have to have hope that this next chapter brings on new lessons and its own rewards, and simultaneously know that you're going to be left with a bittersweet feeling of closing a door in order to open up a new door. And when I think about this, I think our listeners may be saying like, oh, once I close this door, I can't go back. Like I can't be a trader anymore. I can't do any of these things. Well, you can't. Like why? Why do you close this door? Why can't you go back through that door? Now you're just in a new place. You have more doors ahead of you. Who's to say that those doors don't have the ability for you to continue to spend your life? What I'm hearing is that this person has began to believe that this investing persona, this part of him, is him. It is his core identity. It is the identity, not just an identity. So yes, of course it's going to be bittersweet. It's going to hurt because he believes that he has to kill this version of himself to become the next version of himself. But you don't. Just that, matter can't be destroyed or just come out of existence. It can only be transformed. So you're now transforming your identity into something else. And yeah, that hurts. And you still have the choice to go back. You can still have both of these things. I don't want our listener to think of his house as part of his portfolio. I want you to think of your house as a part of joy. You're reallocating the money from your investments, which you found joy in just watching the number go up. You found joy in learning. You found joy in having an identity of like, I'm a person that does this kind of stuff. Now we want to reallocate that money. We want to transform it into living the life of purpose, living your life with joy. You're just moving it from one bucket to another. And everyone has different things that are important to them. That could be travel. That could be time with your family. That could be the house. That could be a car. It could be whatever. But you moving it to a house seems like a good example of something that is a good reason to move money out of an investment because you're making your life better. You're buying something that makes your life better. You're not just buying a Gucci bag or something like that. Not to say that a Gucci bag won't make your life better, but on average, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I guess when I think about it, you have to ask yourself the same question that Dominic kind of posed to you. What was the point of investing if you're not going to use the money to improve your life? I think if I was you, I would avoid worrying about the real estate market going down, worry about all of this stuff because you've moved this money out of your investments now into your life fund. The house at this point is not an investment. It's where you live. It's your home. So why not just live in your house and focus on being happy? Focus on other things. Freaking paint the walls, pick out furniture, make memories with your family, become an interior designer. Like focus on living the life and having the amazing feeling that you want in your home. But if you view your home constantly as an investment that's going up and down and all this stuff, you're going to end up learning to resent your home. And your home is none of those things. Your home is just a home. It just is. You're the one who's assigning all of these meanings to it. You could choose to say that I gave up my portfolio, I gave up my identity to have this freaking house that's holding me down and it's out of control in the Austin real estate market. All of those things are true. 100% right. If you want to, feed that wolf and be miserable. Or you can choose to say, I had a great life. I was able to save this money. I did all of these things so that one day I could give myself a better life, give my family a better life, give the reason that you're moving to Austin an actual reason. You're there now. So if you choose to look at the house as I did all this work and now I get to have this thing, and you can still do all that work. Your identity was never taken from you. The identity of being an investor, doing all that stuff was never taken from you. Yes, you had to give up the portfolio to purchase the house. I wonder if he bought it full out or not. I don't know. But yeah, you had to give up the portfolio, but the portfolio wasn't you. The portfolio wasn't your identity. The money was not you. the knowledge you gain, the experience, all of that is you, and that remains with you indefinitely. You have borrowed those identities, and you get to keep them with you. Yes, the money is gone because it's in the house. You've transformed it into something else. And the only way to get it back is to sell the house. But you have to ask yourself, is that worth it? That's going to be a personal question that you need to decide with you and your family. But your identity of being an investor, being all these things, is not gone. The portfolio is gone. But that doesn't mean it can't be built up with time. You are still you. You did not destroy a part of you, did not destroy yourself. You just moved into a new era, a new place. And the end of every chapter is hard in your life. But as you look at the story of your life, you're going to be able to look back and see every single chapter got you to the end point. Everything you've gone through at this point, or through your whole life, has got you to where you are right now. And everything you're going through right now will eventually get you to where you want to go or wherever you end up being. And hopefully one day you're going to be able to look back and say, like, thank God I went through all those experiences to get me to where I am now. And at that time, when you look back, the thing that's going to decide if you lived your life believing that it was the right way or the wrong way is the way you feel about it right then and there. Because it's a conscious choice to be happy. It's a conscious choice to be fulfilled. It's a conscious choice to feel like you're enough. I'm not saying it's easy. I struggle with it every day. And you can do it too. Hopefully not struggle as much as I do, but you can get there.
Absolutely.
Because we all have that ability.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to end up resenting the house, resenting the decision, resenting maybe outside people influencing you to get the house, right? Transitions are difficult, but it's nice to know that you're still you. You still have all your knowledge. You still have a good amount of money, and you can still trade.
So to our listener, thank you so much for writing in. I hope that helped. If you're mad at us for calling you out, I understand that, but just know that you're still you. You just took money from one thing that was about making a better life for yourself, and now you're living that better life. So please just try to enjoy it. There are people right now in California who live their entire life to build a house, to have that house that is now gone. There are people in the Appalachian Mountains that their houses are gone. All of those things are gone. We never own anything. We just borrow it. And eventually it will be taken away from us. So appreciate what you have right now, because you have so much more to be thankful for than this one thing that you don't have. Yes, you had to give up the portfolio to have the house. And look at all that you have from it. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a fair trade-off. But again, that's just my words, and that doesn't mean anything to you. But hopefully you can turn it around your head, get a wider perspective. It kind of helps with everything.
This video podcast is sponsored by Monzon Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests, not the podcast sponsor.
It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monzonwealth.com.